Jalang'o versus Sifuna, why the 2027 Nairobi Senate race could be his toughest political gamble yet. Nairobi politics is never short of drama, and now Lang'ata MP Felix Adur, popularly known as Jalang'o, has thrown himself into yet another political storm, announcing his intentions to contest for the Nairobi senatorial seat in 2027, currently held by Edwin Sifuna. But this announcement has raised more questions than excitement. Is this a strategic move or a political miscalculation?
Lakini nimeona Jalang'o ameenda senator. Nimeona Jalang'o ameenda senator.
Jalang'o ameenda senator? For you?
Ameenda.
Wacha wewe.
Senator Jalang'o ameenda senator.
Ame-announce?
Ameenda, utaona.
Kwa nani anaenda Lang'ata?
Nafikiri wanawachia basi.
Oh, by the way, basi pia si mchezo.
Ni kama ameenda.
Senator wapi?
Nairobi.
Oh. Na Sifuna?
Sifuna atashindwa. Na hii nduru yote. Boss, unajua kura na nduru ni vitu mbili tofauti. Obina mnaangalia nduru, mna translate to kura.
So kaja Jalasa anaenda senator, wewe pia unaenda senator?
Nani? Jalasa mimi nikikuwa na pesa hizi ni shida. Hawezi. Unajua ile wakati wao kwa hajo. Mimi bwana Obina. Mungu ananipiganga break kwa pesa. Mimi niko na pesa. Sala.
There will be signs.
Sala.
Mapema ndio best.
Let's start with the most uncomfortable truth. Jalang'o may not even have an easy time retaining the Lang'ata MP seat in 2027. Lang'ata is no longer the political honeymoon it was in 2022. Many residents argue that the expectations were high, perhaps too high, and the delivery has not matched the hype. Constituency politics is unforgiving. If the people feel neglected, they don't negotiate, they replace. So, the big question becomes, if defending a constituency seat is already this difficult, why would a county-wide senatorial seat be an easier one? The Nairobi Senate seat is not just about popularity. It requires legislative depth, consistency, visibility in national debates, and the ability to articulate Nairobi complex urban struggle such as housing, transport, trade, policing, and devolution. And this is where comparison inevitably begins.
Munaniona vizuri? Mimi ndio Sifuna, katibu mkuu wa chama cha ODM, seneta wa kaunti ya Nairobi na naibu kiranja wa walio wachache kwenye bunge la Senate.
Edwin Sifuna is not just a senator. He is a trained lawyer, a vocal parliamentarian, and one of the most recognized political communicators in the country.
Mimi ndio Sifuna. Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi ndio Sifuna. Mimi ndio Sifuna.
Whether you agree with his politics or not, Sifuna has built a brand, articulate, confrontational, and deeply rooted in Nairobi's urban political identity. Many Nairobians feel Sifuna understands the city, its anger, its hustle, and its contradictions. This sets a very high bar for Jalang'o. And that's why critics argue that Jalang'o's bid feels less like a calculated challenge and more like a political leap of faith.
There's a kaujinga yenye these incumbents wako nayo. The moment you detect that you might not retain your seat, you deliberately aim for a higher seat while supporting the government. Eti ndio hata kama hutachaguliwa, the government will consider you time ya nominations. Well, Nairobi tunahitaji mtu fearless. Nairobi inahitaji mtu anaweza question the executive. Nairobi tunahitaji mtu anajua interests zetu sisi kama residents. And Sifuna has been all that and more. And unataka kumwan seat. Well, there's two things that I'ma tell you, Jaras. One, you'll see Pepe. Two, Sifuna hata akisema hataki hiyo kiti, bado tutamchagua.
Now comes the second argument gaining traction online, that Jalang'o is not running towards the Senate, but running away from Lang'ata. The theory goes like this. He knows that defending the MP seat will be messy, humiliating, and uncertain. So, instead of losing at constituency level, he aims higher, where defeat can be explained away as a tough race. In Kenyan politics, perception matters. Losing an MP seat feels like a rejection by your own people. Losing a Senate race, that can be framed as ambition, bravery, or political sacrifice. So, some see this Senate bid as a damage control strategy, not necessarily a confidence play. This is where the debate becomes even more heated.
Ukileta kitu ya ODM hapa, Sifuna can kill you. But where he draws the line is where matters Nairobi are being discussed. When did you ever see him do a public meeting to discuss the issues of Nairobi with the residents of this town?
I've never seen.
When did you last see him being loud about Nairobi issues?
Jalang'o's visible closeness to President William Ruto has not gone unnoticed. In fact, for some Nairobi voters, it has become his biggest liability. There is a growing narrative that Jalang'o is not acting independently, but is a political project, a mobilizer, a friendly face meant to soften Ruto's image in Nairobi. Some critics go even further, calling him a political mole, a simp, a system-aligned convenience candidate. And here is the core of that argument. Even if Jalang'o loses Lang'ata, even if he loses the Senate race, he still wins as long as he remains loyal to power. Because in Kenyan politics, loyalty is often rewarded with appointments, votes, advisory roles, or future nomination, especially if President William Ruto secures a second term. But the reaction from Nairobi residents has been loud and largely skeptical. Many are saying Jalang'o does not speak the language of Nairobi struggles. He entertains, he trends, but he does not legislate loudly the way Nairobi expects. Others argue Nairobi needs a senator who fights institutions, not one who aligns with them. And that's the key contrast being drawn. Sifuna is seen as a confrontational and defiant. Jalang'o is seen as friendly and cooperative. The question voters are asking is simple. In a city that constantly feels neglected by power, do you want a rebel or a loyalist? Jalang'o's Senate ambition is bold, no doubt about that. But it is also risky, controversial, and deeply polarizing. To win Nairobi, he must convince voters that he is more than a celebrity politician, prove that he understands Nairobi beyond social media optics, and 3, demonstrate independence, not just access to power. Otherwise, 2027 may not be remembered as his political rise, but as the moment his limits were exposed. What do you think? Is Jalang'o being strategic, or is he misreading Nairobi's politics? Can he realistically unseat Edwin Sifuna, or is this Senate bid just a soft landing plan? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like, share, and subscribe for more hard political conversation.